Hello everybody, my name is Miranda and welcome to my universe. Today we are going to be doing my March wrap-up, except I put a little twisty turny into it. The same twisty turny that Catherine from Catherine Reads put in her January wrap-up. I'll link that video down below so you guys can see my inspiration. So I'm going to be going over all of the books, or should I say book. I only read one book this month, it's fine. I'm going to be going over all of the books that I read in the month of March, but I am also going to be talking about the movies and the TV shows that I also read this month. Watched this month. You guys know what I'm talking about. Lately, especially this month, if you take in consideration that I only read one book, I feel like I have been watching more TV. So I decided to encompass everything in this video because I think that it's time that you guys saw a different side of Miranda and you guys got to see my opinions on different movies or TV shows that have been coming out lately. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. I will first start with the book that I finished and the books that I am currently reading. The one book that I read in March is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. This is a murder mystery that is basically just like The Breakfast Club, where 5 kids are put into detention and then one of them ends up dying. So throughout this whole entire book, you follow around the different points of view of all the characters and you're trying to figure it out for yourself, trying to solve it. I actually tend to turn to adult mystery thriller books because those are my jam. I absolutely love them. I like that they have a darker side to the story too that tends to be very absent from young adult mysteries. A lot of the times I feel like young adult mystery plot twists don't surprise me at all, but this one did. I was very, very, very well surprised. I absolutely loved it. All right, now I figured why not talk to you guys about the 3 different books that I am currently reading, which is crazy. I am totally one of those people that likes to read one book at a time, but somehow I ended up reading 3 different books. So let's talk about it, shall we? One of the books is actually a required read for my AP literature class, and that is Beloved by Toni Morrison. I'm not super far in this book, so I don't really have a good hold on what this story is about, if I'm completely honest with you, because it's really just everywhere at the moment. Later on, when I finish this book, I'll tell you guys what it's about and I'll figure it out and I'll get there. We'll get there. And then I'm reading 2 books just because I want to, and the first one is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. And yes, this is the classic Moby Dick. I actually am really enjoying it right now. I love hearing stories of people going on voyages and hunting down whales. What can I say? This book is actually very profound and it talks a lot about like spirituality and different ways to go about life and like sin and how we deal with temptation and different things like that. I've actually been listening to the audiobook for this and I'm not done with it. I have like 5 or 6 chapters left, so I'm very close. But so far, it's so good. I really, really like it. And then the last book I am currently reading is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Basically what this book is about is a private high school that is set in Vermont. It is called Ellingham Academy. There was this murder that happened there in the past. It was never ever solved, and one of the girls who actually gets accepted into the academy, she actually tries to solve the mystery, and it is really twisty and turny right now. I actually am only halfway through it. I still don't know who I trust. There are a lot of sketchy characters in here. I especially think it's so funny that they have like the notes that the murderer leaves for them. It's just so well done and I enjoy it a lot right now, so yeah. Alrighty, now I think it's time to move on and talk about the movies that I saw this month. I want to just focus on the movies I saw in the theater. There were 2 of them. The first movie I saw this month was the Lego Movie 2, and let me just tell you right now, actually is one of the most beautiful movies I have seen so far this year. Hands freaking down. Also, the soundtrack is amazing, so if you don't end up watching the movie, please just listen to the soundtrack. I've been listening to it nonstop for the past 5 days. I can't even begin to explain it. This sequel was so good. The way that the characters are portrayed in this movie is just it's honestly so hilarious. The Lego Movie 2 has more sophisticated humor, I guess, in ways, but then it also has like the little kid humor too. And honestly, it just makes it even funnier because you have all these parents that are like dying of laughter because they understand the jokes that are being said. And then you have their children who are just laughing alongside of them because they think to themselves, oh, my mom and my dad are laughing, so it must be funny. Let me laugh too. And it just is so funny because you know that the kids don't understand what is being said, yet they're laughing anyway because it's the Lego Movie. And the Lego Movie connects people like that. The second movie I saw this month is one that I might not recommend to everybody, and that is the movie Us. I actually had a nightmare of this movie, both last night and the night before. The movie Us is all about this family who gets attacked by doppelgangers who look exactly like them, except they are more twisted versions of them. They're basically their shadows, and they constantly are attacking them, constantly trying to kill them, and it's all about this family's fight against these weird second family. And honestly, it was freaking scary, but I really don't think it needed to be rated R. It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. I thought I would have to get up halfway through the movie and leave because I was so hesitant to watch it, but it's not so bad. There are very good jump scares, which I totally appreciate. I don't know, the suspense was really good too, but just overall, like after I left the theater, I wasn't really that scared. I didn't want to get in my car afterwards, but just in general, it wasn't too bad. What killed me the most in this movie was the twist, because throughout the whole movie you have all of these different symbols being built up and you have all these different metaphors and these different things that mean what definitely could be more than what they're trying to portray. And then you have the plot twist, which completely destroys all of the symbols that you thought were there. It could have been so much more if they actually kept the symbols and the meanings, and if they developed those more instead of using a twist to get out of the situation that they could have developed and made into something bigger. I don't know. It was good. If you enjoy horror movies, definitely recommend it because it is freaking creepy, but more of the literary side of it, I didn't really enjoy it as much as I really thought I could have. Alright, last but not least, it's time to talk about the TV shows that I watched this month. Now, I'm gonna start with my favorite one just so I can say it and get it off my chest because I've been talking about this show non-stop ever since I finished it, and that is The Umbrella Academy. What can I say about The Umbrella Academy? Basically what this show is about is all of these kids, all of these children, I think there's 43 of them in total, are all mysteriously born on the same day. 6 of these children are adopted by this man named Reginald Hargreaves, and he actually finds out that these kids have special powers, and he makes this Umbrella Academy, which is just the name of this school that he's made, and he trains them in their special powers. 17 years later, they're older, they're grown up, and they all went their separate ways, and their father actually dies. So then they all come back together for his funeral, and then that's when they realize that the apocalypse is going to happen in 8 days and they have to stop it. I love this show so much, mostly because all of the characters are so dysfunctional and they don't know what they're doing, and it just makes me laugh a lot. It makes me laugh a lot. There's only 1 season of this show so far. I'm so hoping that a 2nd season gets made. It's definitely a very unique take on a superhero story because you really get to see how they grow up, but then you also get to see how they deal with life right now because they deal with some heavy stuff. None of them are perfect. You get to see the bad side to all of them and how they have to overcome it or how they try not to overcome it. It's just very cool to see both sides of the character. It's safe to say that I'm just obsessed with this show, and if you've seen it, please comment down below your favorite characters so that we can start talking because I just love The Umbrella Academy with all my heart. Alright, so I have 2 other shows that I started watching. I have not finished them yet just because they are longer shows, but I do want to talk about them. The first one I started is Pretty Little Liars, which I have never seen in my life before. I'm just now starting it. And if I'm completely honest with you, I don't know how I feel. I think the number of seasons is super intimidating for me. I really don't know if I'm ever gonna end up finishing it just because of how lengthy this show is. I'm the kind of person that really needs to get hooked on a show within the first couple episodes, otherwise I'm just never gonna finish it. I'm kind of on the fence right now. Hopefully I will finish season 1 so that I can really see if I want to continue on. I'm just a mess of emotions about that show right now. And then the last show that I started in the month of March is one that I am definitely hooked on, and it's one that my mom actually watched. She loved it, she recommended it to me, and that is Bates Motel. I definitely don't recommend this show to everyone. There is a lot of oppressive abuse and psychologic issues that are present in a lot of the episodes. Don't go into it if you really don't like scary or oppressing kind of shows. It's definitely a show that is very different from everything else I've watched, just because I am more of a lighthearted, let's go watch Lego Movie 2 kind of person. But then on the other end of the spectrum, I do like darker kind of shows because it really shows you reality and what really happens. And as sad as it is, being able to see that and watch how it develops the characters and the plot line, it's just it's a unique experience. I'm only on episode 5 and there are 5 seasons, so I'm definitely not that far along with it. But I am hoping that I will finish this show because it's so good, and the way it develops the character of Norman Bates, because that's what this show is all about. It's all about the development of Norman Bates, who is the main character in the horror movie Psycho. And if you don't know what Psycho is, look it up, because you definitely know what it is. It's a very famous classic horror film. Being able to see how the directors took a twist on Norman Bates when he was younger and when he's my age, and seeing that and seeing everything he had to go through and how he turned into this creepy psycho stalker guy, like, it really opens your eyes. So that was my March wrap up. I know I only read 1 book, and I'm hoping that I will step up on my reading later and finish these 3 books that I started. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any thoughts or ideas on the books or the movies or the TV shows that I have read this month, please comment down below so we can start a conversation. I love you guys so much. Please be safe, make good choices, and I will definitely see you next time. Bye!